Hi students, this is Karthik Trivedi and you are watching a lecture series of Applied Thermodynamics with... Hi students, in this videos we're gonna learn time laws, heat laws and exhaust laws, or sometimes it is known as exhaust blowdown laws. So the topic is effect of time laws, heat laws and exhaust blowdown laws in petrol and diesel engines. So actually this topic actual name of this topic is losses in the actual cycles. So here we are going to discuss three losses: the time loss, heat loss and exhaust loss, or you can say exhaust blowdown loss. Okay, and other than these three losses there are also two losses as well, but that we are not going to cover because in our GTU syllabus we have just the three losses and the theory is something like that. Title of the theory according to GTU syllabus is effect of time loss, heat loss and exhaust loss in petrol and diesel engine. So this is how we gonna take. Okay, so let us learn one by one. So first of all we learn time loss. What is time loss happening in actual cycle? So let us understand first what is time loss is. So here you can see that here we have a PV diagram. So here you can say that this is 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4 and 4 to 1. This cycle is our ideal cycle, or you can say air standard cycle. Then 1 to 2, 2 to 3 days, 3 days to 4 days, 4 days to 1 is our fuel air cycle. And our actual cycle is something like this. From here, then it deviates something like this and up to this, from here and here. Okay, so this is our actual cycle. This is how the actual cycle is. Actual diagram of the actual cycle is. Now you can see the gap between the fuel air cycle and the actual cycle. So this gap, you can see this gap. This is known as time losses. This is known as time losses. Why it is time losses and what exactly the time loss is? Let us understand. What we have assumed in the ideal cycle or air standard cycle, in our fuel air cycle, we have assumed that combustion take place instantaneously. Instantaneously means when the pistons, here you can see the cylinder, this is the piston. What we have assumed, when piston reaches from BDC to TDC means compression is taking place. So when it reaches TDC, at that time combustion is take place instantaneously. Whenever it reaches the TDC and combustion take place instantaneously, and complete combustion is happen. And whenever you reach the TDC, you will have the maximum pressure. But in actual cycle, you know that combustion cannot take place instantaneously. It takes some time. When you reach, let us say when we reach from BDC to TDC, what is actually happening? That the combustion will not take place instantaneously. It will take time. It will take some definite interval of time for the complete combustion of the fuel, so that it not start happening instantaneously. So that's why you are having some time lag. So it's not happening instantaneously, but it is happening after some interval of time. The complete combustion is take place. So it requires some time, and that time we lost, that is known as the time loss. So here you can say that. So now what we gonna do? So that in actual cycle we know that the combustion cannot take place instantaneously. So that what we can do in actual cycle? In actual cycle, the advancement of spark plug is given. That means what? When piston reaches from BDC to TDC, so when it is just about to reach TDC, the compression stroke is taking place, and when piston is just about to reach TDC, so it has not reached TDC, but it just about to reach TDC. Just before that it reaches the TDC, we give the advancement of sparks. That means what? We give the spark in advance before it reaches TDC, because we know that the in actual cycle combustion takes some time. So to cover that loss, what we gonna do? We gonna give advancement of spark before the piston reaches to the TDC. So here you can see that. So here this is the, let us say, BDC, bottom dead center. Here that is understand TDC. So one BDC, two TDC. So you can see that before this point, before the compressor reaches the two means TDC, in advance we give the spark. So we have given the spark in advance over here. So that's why this cycle is deviate something like this. And also is the complete combustion takes some time. So to attain the maximum pressure, it is also going to take some time. So here you can see that after some time it takes so maximum pressure. So here he has attained the maximum pressure. But to attain this maximum pressure, it has taken time because the complete combustion is not taken place. When the complete combustion is done, then you attain the maximum pressure. So it takes some time to attain the maximum pressure. So this loss is, and that's why from here you goes like this. So you can see that there is a gap. So there is a gap, the 3 dash 4 dash, and this process is something like this. So from here to here, so this gap, all this gapping over here is known as time loss. So this is known as time loss because there must be a time loss. Why? Because in actual cycle combustion cannot take place instantaneously. It has to be given some time. So what we could do, we give the spark in advance, because in actual cycle complete combustion, it takes some time. So it cannot happen instantaneously, and also for attaining the maximum pressure, it also takes time because the complete combustion cannot take place instantly. That is why we are lost the time in that. So that is known as time loss. So this is what we have explained over here. Now let us go to the exhaust blowdown losses. What is the exhaust blowdown losses? So exhaust blowdown losses, or you can say exhaust loss, what actually it is. So here you can see the PV diagram. So here you can see that this is the ideal cycle like this. Let me 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me just give the name. 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 1. This is the ideal cycle, or you can say the fuel air cycle. But here 1 to 2, 2 to 3, then here your actual cycle is deviates. Why it deviates? Because what is happening in the ideal cycle, or what is happening in the fuel air cycle, that we have assumed that when the piston reaches bottom dead center, at that time the exhaust valve will open. We have assumed that. Okay, so that opens instantaneously. But in actual cycle, what you have to do, you have to open the exhaust valve in advance before piston reaches from TDC to BDC during the expansion stroke. Why? Because you know that what is happening at the time of expansion is that here the complete combustion take place, so the maximum pressure attained, so expansion stroke is taking place, so you have the maximum pressure. So when it comes with the maximum pressure, so what will happen? If you open the spark plug, or if you open the exhaust valve, if you open the exhaust valve at the time of BDC, then what will happen? It comes with the maximum pressure. Now what you have to do? Now you have to do and work on the piston to remove all those exhaust gases from the exhaust valve. But you know that here the complete combustion take place, so you will have maximum pressure at BDC. So what we have to do to reduce our work, because we have to remove the exhaust gases through the exhaust valve, we have to work on the piston. So piston will remove all the exhaust gases. But if it is having a maximum pressure at PDC, then we have to give more work. So what we gonna do? We gonna open exhaust valve in advance before the piston reaches to BDC. So what will happen? Some of the exhaust gases will be removed. But here you have the question, sir, but if some of the exhaust we are opening the exhaust valve in advance before it reaches to BDC, then some of the hot gases will be goes away. Yes, you are right, we losing the energy, we lose the efficiency, but we do not have any other way. Because if you don't do that, if you don't do that and the piston come with the maximum pressure up to BDC, then you also have to do more work on the piston to remove all those exhaust gases. Then also you have to give the more work to compromise between these two, so that what we're gonna do, we're gonna open the exhaust valve in advance before piston reaches to the BDC, and that's why we have the heat loss, exhaust heat loss. So that is what is over here. So you can see that we open the exhaust valve in advance. So that's why this cycle, the actual cycle 1 to 2, here this is deviate something like this. It will deviate something like this. It will deviate something like so. Here this much loss is known as blowdown loss. Otherwise what will happen? Otherwise it will be, if it is ideal cycle or you will have a fuel air cycle, it will be 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 1. But here you open the exhaust valve in advance, so it will deviate something like so. This much of loss is your known as blowdown loss, or you can say exhaust heat loss. So this is what is happening over here. Same way, here you can see the heat loss. So now it is same. What is heat loss? So here what we have to understand, here you have the graph, that is pressure, and here you have the compression ratio, or you can say cylindrical volume upon clearance volume. So this is the ratio of cylindrical volume, clearance volume, 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, and here the pressure from 0 to 70. So let me tell you what is heat loss. So you know that in actual cycle or in fuel air cycle, we assume that compression and expansion stroke both are adiabatic. That means no heat transfer is taking place. But in actual cycle, heat transfer is take place, because during the combustion, during the expansion, during the compression, what will happen? The heat is transferred from hot gases to the cylindrical wall, and then cylindrical wall to the environment. So in actual cycle, heat loss is happening over there. Okay, so that much heat loss is happening, and due to that we are having the energy losses over there, and that's why we are having a less efficiency. So that loss is known as heat loss. So here you can see that. So here you will have something diagram. So this is the, you can see the fuel air diagram, 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4. Okay, but what is happening over here in the heat loss, you can see that this is something like this actual diagram, then it will deviate something like this, and then it will comes over here. So here you can see the time loss, so that you already know, because to attain the maximum pressure in actual cycle it takes some time. So for that you have also the time loss. So here I have mentioned that time loss, and you can see that then your diagram deviates something like this. So this is the fuel air cycle, and this is the actual cycle. So the gap between this, so this gap between this is so the heat loss, that is called cyclic heat loss, and that is around 15%. Okay, so why is this happening? Because in ideal cycle or fuel air cycle, we assume that compression expansion process are adiabatic, means no heat transfer take place. But in actual cycle, during the compression, expansion, also the combustion, your heat is transferred from the hot gases to the cylindrical wall, and cylindrical wall to the environment, and that's why there is a heat losses over there. So that's why you can say that this is the heat losses and this is the time losses. You know that why time loss? Because to attain the maximum pressure it requires some time, because complete combustion takes some time. So that is here time loss, and these other things are the heat loss over here. So I think now you will understand what is time loss, what is exhaust heat loss, or you can say what is exhaust blowdown loss, and what is heat loss. So this is the three terms. Okay, now this is very important topic as far as GTU examination can consider. This is the must you should do for GTU examination. This question is very important, which is comparison between as standard, fuel air, and actual cycle. So they can ask you in 3 to 4 marks that you have to do comparison between as standard, fuel air, and actual cycle. Or what they can do, they can ask the comparison between any two. Either they can ask for as standard and fuel air, or they can ask between as standard and actual cycle, or they ask between fuel air and actual cycle. So it can be asked in both the way. So it is very important. So let us see one by one. So here it is as standard cycle, this is fuel air cycle, this is actual cycle. Again, because this board is not enough, so again I have done as standard, fuel air, actual. So total there will be a 10 point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So there are 10 points. It is very important. So in air standard, you know that working substance is what? Air. In fuel air cycle, working substance is what? Fuel and air. And as well as you can write residual gases. Here in actual cycle, it is same. Actual cycle will be what? It is same as fuel air, means here the mixture of fuel, air, and residual gases. Okay, so these two is same. So that's why it is same as fuel air. Second, specific heat of gas does not change with change in temperature in air standard cycle, whereas in fuel air cycle, specific heat of gas change with change in temperature, and here it is also the same. So here the specific heat of gas change with change in temperature. So that's why I have written same as fuel air. Now third, chemical composition of working substance does not change. Okay, in a standard cycle, chemical composition of working substance does not change. Here we know that because dissociation is happening, we know that in fuel air cycle and also in actual cycle, because this is same for both the thing. Combustion and residual gases change the number of moles before and after combustion. So in fuel air and actual cycle, combustion of residual gases change the number of mole before and after the combustion. So same as fuel air, actual cycle. Fourth point, gases in chemical equilibrium. Here chemical equilibrium is maintained and here we assume the complete combustion of fuel, whereas in actual cycle there is incomplete combustion of fuel, and that is why there are losses due to incomplete combustion of fuel. Here chemical gases in chemical equilibrium, in fuel air chemical equilibrium is maintained as well as complete combustion of fuel, and here incomplete combustion of fuel, because that is why there are losses. Again here as standard, fuel air actual. So again we are going to continue from here. So fifth point, in air standard heat is supplied at constant volume. In fuel air heat is supplied due to what? Due to burning of air and fuel mixture at constant volume. Here it is constant volume, here it is constant volume, but here just air, here fuel and or both. And in actual cycle burning of fuel and air is not at constant volume. So in actual cycle it is not at constant volume. Sixth number, in air standard cycle valve open and close instantaneously. Same in fuel air, valve open and close instantaneously, but in actual cycle valve does not open and close instantaneously. There must be some time gap. So there is time gap in opening and closing of valves in actual cycle. 7, in air standard cycle we neglect the friction. In fuel air we neglect the friction, but in actual cycle we consider the friction losses. Okay. 8, in air standard cycle suction and exhaust stroke eliminated, so we do not consider suction and exhaust stroke in air standard cycle, whereas in fuel cycle suction and exhaust is happening at atmospheric pressure. So in fuel air cycle suction stroke and exhaust stroke both are take place at atmospheric pressure, whereas in actual cycle suction stroke take place below atmospheric pressure, because we have to do suction, and in exhaust stroke is happen above atmospheric pressure. Okay, so that is for the actual cycle. 9th number point, in air standard cycle heat is added by the reservoir. So there is a reservoir which add the heat, whereas in fuel cycle heat is added due to the combustion of fuel and air, and same for actual cycle heat is added due to the combustion of fuel and air. And 10th number, last point is, in air standard cycle compression and expansion is isentropic, whereas in fuel air cycle compression and expansion are adiabatic. So there will be a no heat transfer, whereas in actual cycle compression and expansion are not adiabatic, so there is a heat transfer is happening over there. Okay, so these are the 10 points for the air standard, fuel air and the actual cycle. This is very important from the GTU examination point of view. So I hope you will like this video. Have a nice day. Bye bye.